other day, a Snapchat memory surfaced on my phone from 4 years ago. I made the mistake of not only watching that Snapchat memory, but going back and watching all of my Snapchat memories. I say it was a mistake, but actually, it was just a reminder of why I do this channel. I watched how happy I was in my life with my family, celebrating success and accomplishments. We had been through a lot over the 20-something years of marriage, the births of our children, businesses, ideas, dreams, and failure, death, so many changes. I was no stranger to difficult times, so I can look back and say with truth and honesty that I took nothing for granted. I looked at these Snapchat stories and Facebook memories, looking for something wrong, something out of place, a disconnect. I couldn't see anything that would predict where I would be. It was then that I realized that I was looking at nothing more than the highlight reel from my past. Social media didn't show the humiliating moments. The bankruptcy, losing our home, moving to the middle of nowhere, isolated and alone, where I told myself and everyone else we were living off grid. No pictures of the wounds that had not healed from my childhood. My social media presence didn't show the nights I cried myself to sleep or when my ex was with his 19-year-old tattoo apprentice on my birthday until 5 a.m., telling her that 20 was the new 30, and if he wasn't married, he would put a ring on her finger. I was told she was crazy. I believed him, even when the texts were right in front of me. Where were the Snapchats of the 48 hours that I spent in the hospital as a result of being gaslit, triangulated, and projected upon? I didn't share on social media the days I had to pick up the pieces of my broken life. I didn't need to. I had a partner, my best friend, who I trusted with my life. What more could I ask for? I looked at these videos and I saw no confession of the denial that I was in. Were there signs? Yes. Did I choose to ignore them? Absolutely. Do I feel responsible for everything? No. Do I take responsibility for everything? Yes. I was in complete denial or cognitive dissonance. Let me explain on simple terms what cognitive dissonance is. I loved him. We shared everything together. He was my best friend. I would lay down my life for him. His behavior was unacceptable. I did not love his behavior. My brain needed to get rid of this dissonance. As extreme and bad as his behavior was, I had to either justify it, rationalize it, and love him anyway, or I needed to walk away. The times that I did walk away, I was hoovered back in. I was hoovered back in with promises that things would be different. I have not deleted most of my old social media pics. I choose not to forget my past. If we can't see the truth, accept the truth, and the facts about our past, then we have no navigation system for our future. We can read all day about signs, statistics, red flags, and what to avoid. What I needed most when I was at the worst place that I had ever been in my entire life was to be able to look deep into someone's soul, someone who had been through hell and back and come out stronger. I needed to see a testimony. It's important to me to be transparent, to be able to show you my dark places, my light places, and those spaces in between. We all have them. This world seeks to divide, compare, and contrast us. If we allow our life challenges to teach, inspire, and strengthen one another, our lives can be enriched and healed despite our differences. My candle company was called Wildflower Wax. On the label it read, "Like the human spirit, no two are the same, not one is perfect," because each one of our candles came out of their molds differently. At first, this bothered me, seeing the imperfections and how different each one was. That turned out to be what made them so very special. Complementary color schemes are the exact opposite on the color wheel, like yellow and purple, blue and orange. The definition says they offer extremely high contrast and have a high impact. We can have the same impact on one another. Even if our situations differ, we all have a story to tell. My channel is not for revenge, validation, sympathy, or approval, but to bring awareness to mental, emotional, and spiritual abuse that brought me so close to death. I chose life and it chose me, and in return, I choose to give back by bringing to life through my story the dangers of toxic relationships, the impact on your health and well-being, and the beauty that lies beyond. To take you through my eyes, my journey, the things that I have gotten right, the things that I have gotten wrong, and the things that I have yet to experience. I know there are so many of you that have been through far worse than what I have been through. My hope is that each one of you that have found your way to my channel will take something meaningful away from the things that I share. That you look into your desperation, that place you feel is the end, and visualize it as the beginning. That all of the challenges you went through were making you more resilient, preparing you for your purpose, urging you to not let your past define you, but to refine you. When I was younger, I thought that shining light into dark places was to spread love and light and go sit with people in their darkness. As I got older, I realized that you can plant seeds in other people's life, that you can spread light. That doesn't mean staying in the darkness and sacrificing yourself for toxic people or the ones that abuse you. There is no shame in walking away. Life is not always all the time about shining light into dark places, but shining light onto the darkness of injustice, evil, selfishness, and corruption. Sometimes we are called to shine light onto the darkness of evil in order to expose it. In order to see darkness in others, we first have to recognize it in ourselves. In order to recognize light in others, we must first be able to recognize it within ourselves. For those of us that have been through betrayal, I pray that one day we will be able to look into a glass mirror and see only a tiny fraction of who we really are. But we will be able to look into the spiritual mirror of others and see our powerful souls, the light places, the dark places, and the places that need to be healed. So much love and light. Until next time.